All right, so we are picking 1080 by 1350 pixels. Okay, that's Instagram, post. Great. So we have the chance to change the background from here. So let's drop this, choose black. Okay, now let's go into our resources and let's bring this image. All right, so let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and let's make it 11. Just keep in mind that over here anything could be used as backgrounds. Okay, so hit D on the keyboard to change this to black and white, with the foreground being black. Now let's grab the gradient. The shortcut is G on the keyboard. Okay, grab the gradient and let's come to the top here, click and drop the basics. Let's choose the middle one, which is foreground to transparent, and make sure both ends or color stops are black. Okay, if you click this, change it to black, click this, change it to black, click OK, and let me zoom out. Okay, and create layer mask on this. Now the moment I created the layer mask, the foreground changed to white, so let me switch it to black. Okay, now hover down here, click and drag up with the help of the shift. Hold down the shift to get a straight line like that. Release and you have layer mask over there. So let's drag the background down a little like this. Okay, and let's grab the G and let's create more shadows over here. So let me undo that, let me drag it up. Okay, so this is cool. So let's grab the rectangle tool. Okay, and let's click once. For this side we are picking 317.9 pixels. Okay, and for the height we are choosing 769.96 pixels. Okay, so that's it, and let's bring it here. So in the properties panel, let's change the stroke to white with a size 2. Okay, so let's hold Alt, click and drag one to the right. Okay, and let's select this one. Now let's go and bring this image, right click and then create clipping mask, Control T. You can resize the image within the shape like this. Okay, and let's select this and let's bring this image. Don't worry, I will bring you another video where we have multiple images. Okay, as graduate with us, but this one we are using only one image. Okay, so let me clip that in there, and what we are going to do is you can save for later. Okay, so hold shift on the keyboard and click on the first rectangle. You select all of them, then group. Okay, click this to group them. Now duplicate, Control J, you will duplicate. You can hide this one and Control E on the keyboard to merge these guys. Okay, now hold Alt on the keyboard, click and drag one here. Let's select these two duplicates and let's Control E to merge. Let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, let's make it 6. Okay, and let's change the blend mode to soft lights and let's push them here a little. Good. Now let's go into our resources and let's bring this image. Okay, so if you have questions about how I got this image sharpened like that, kindly check this video out. So with this, let's go to filter and camera raw filter. All right, so the exposure, let's change it to 0.5. Okay, and let's push the vibrance somewhere here. Click OK. All right, now you can see some white fringes. Let me zoom in. You can see these white fringes around the image. Okay, we can quickly fix that by simply holding Control and click on the layer thumbnail. You see a selection around it. Okay, now let's go to select, modify and contract. Okay, which means we want to contract the selection by what pixels? Let's make it 2 pixels. Okay, so the selection moves from, let me undo it, look at the selection. So this is undone and you see it directly at the edges. So if you contract by 2 pixels, they come inside. Okay, And with that, you can simply add layer mask and then they disappear. Okay, so that's just a quick way to, you know, get rid of fringes. So let's create a new layer. Let's grab the gradient, okay, with the foreground black. All right, and let's create a gradient overlay over here. All right, now let's create another one. Let's create another one. Okay, so if I toggle the visibility, you see you get some shadows over here. All right, so you can add layer mask, grab the brush, foreground should be black. Okay, then we can just wipe some from here to make the face clearer. Okay, now let's select this layer. Okay, the lady. Okay, let's select the layer below it. Okay, below the lady's layer, and let's bring this. So let's right click, flip horizontal, and let's resize it. Now let's hit Ctrl J to duplicate, Ctrl T, right click, flip vertical, and let's come over here. Okay, and let's drag. Okay, so let's rotate it like this. We don't want any kind of realistic thing over there. So let's click OK, and let's add layer mask, grab the brush, foreground should be black. Can lower the fill a little. Okay, like this. Now select the original and the duplicate, okay, and use this guy to group them together. Let's add black and white. Okay, where should, okay, so there's black and white, and let's clip it. So now let's drop the camera group, okay, and let's select the original, okay, this guy. Let's go to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur, and let's make the blur radius 2.5. okay, so if you check the layers panel, you see smart filters, and this is the Gaussian blur that we added, and this is its mask. So select this guy, and with the foreground, grab the brush with foreground black. Okay, let's unblur this area, and we can add certain areas too, so like this. Okay, all right, so that this area won't interfere with this image. Okay, it puts it into focus. All right, okay, so let's collapse this group. Okay, and there is this golden text effect right here. The link, it will be part of the resources link in the description, but we don't need it as a text. Okay, we are going to use it for a different purpose. So first of all, let's turn off the background, and then let's drop this FX, and let's turn off the shadow. Then after that, let's turn off this text, and then we can finally double click this layer thumbnail. So if this pops up, don't show again, checked, click OK. So they are saying there are missing fonts in here, or there's a missing font. Let's close this. Don't resolve and leave me alone. So what we're going to do is let's turn off this guy, and let's grab the rectangle tool, click once. Okay, for the width, let's make it 300 pixels by 100 pixels. Okay, all right, so we got this, and basing our facts on this, Control T, and let's resize it like this. Okay, then in the properties panel, for the radius, let's increase the radius to, let's say 267 pixels. Okay, now let's grab a rectangle by going to the group, the rectangle group, and select polygon. Up here you can choose the number of size, which is 3. You can click and drag out, okay, to create a triangle like this. So Control T, you can rotate that, and you can put it here. Okay, oh, what am I saying? Haven't I eaten today? Okay, so you can get it like this. Okay, and now what we need to do is hit Control S on a keyboard. So we've saved, and we can go back here. So that was what we got. Okay, and we need to save this as PNG. So I'll go to File, Save As, and I'll drop this and choose PNG because we don't want the background. Okay, so I'll choose a location, and then I'll hit save. I already have that, so I'm not going to save that. Okay, Then after that, you can close this and close this one too. Okay, so I'm not going to save, even though they tell me save this. I'm not saving because I already have that. Now back to base, and let's select the topmost layer. Let's grab the type tool and click and type graduate. So let's go to window and character. Okay, and the font that I'm using is Happy Food, as usual, be in the description, and the font size is 30.88. Can make it 39, no problem with that. Okay, so let's place it here. All right, now I'll hold Alt, click and drag below to change it to with us. Okay, so the font size for this one is 19.44. okay, so let's grab the move tool and place it here. All right, now let's grab the rectangle tool and click once. Let's make it 80 pixels by 80 pixels. Okay, so this black, let's double click the layer thumbnail and make it visible. Let's place it here. Grab rulers. If you can't find ruler, just go to view and you see ruler, Ctrl+R. okay, you grab that ruler and let's delete this guy, and let's go into our resources and bring this guy that we created over there. So on top of this is where I bring, my logo, my studio logo or something. So if you have a logo, if they are in words, you can just use this format. Okay, but if your logo is just in, let's say, square, it will fit in a square, or maybe it's round, you can just make this ellipse. Okay, this golden background, you can make it an ellipse instead of a rectangle. So I'm not seeing this well. Maybe if your logo is black, I don't know what your logo is, but if you put it on, you gotta make it visible. Okay, so we can do that simply by going to FX, blending options, and I'll add a drop shadow. Okay, so opacity 100, and for my instance, this is the color that I used. Okay, so distance 5 and size and spread should be at 0. Okay, now let's grab the rectangle tool, click once, and for the width, let's make it 115 pixels by 100 pixels. Okay, so let's double tap on the layer thumbnail and let's make it visible for now, and let's place this guy here. So in the properties, let's make the radius 10 pixels. Okay, and click the fill over here. Let's click gradient. For the angle, let's make it 116. Okay, and let's click this gradient. So for this color stop, we are taking this color, and for this color stop, we are picking this color. Click OK, click OK from there. So let's zoom in on this guy, and you just grab the type tool. Okay, and you just type the bronze and the price over there. Okay, now let's grab the rectangle tool, click once, and for the width, let's make it 175 pixels by 135 pixels. Okay, all right, so it is here and it is black, so let's double tap here and make it white. Okay, now if we go into the properties, we can take away the fill and add stroke white. Okay, and the stroke size, you can make it 1 pixel or 2 pixels. Okay, no problem, but let's maintain 1 pixel, and let's increase the radius, so maybe 30. Let's make it 30. All right, so with this rectangle, stroke rectangle, let's grab the rectangular marquee tool. Okay, and let's drag or create a rectangle like this. Okay, release, and let's add layer mask. So if the bigger portion disappears, let's undo that with Ctrl+Z. Let's go to select, inverse selection, and then we can click the layer mask to hide this portion rather. And within this space is where we can actually, input our 8 edited for retouch stuffs over there. Okay, so let's add inner glow on top of this rectangle right here. Okay, this guy. So let's go to FX, blending options, and let's check inner glow over here. So the color, pick this please, and for the opacity 80, noise 0, and size 11, and this guy should be 0. Okay, click OK. So use the same method for the gold and silver. Okay, and for the silver, for the inner glow for the silver, you need to make it white. Okay, and for the gradient, simply go there, and this side you should actually have gray. Okay, and for this side, can pick white. And for the gold, this is what I use for the gradient. So for this side I picked this color, and for this side I picked this color. All right, so we are good. So for the call to actions, you can decide, but for now let's scroll to the top and select the topmost layer. Let's create a new layer. Let's change the blend mode to linear dodge. Let's grab the brush. Okay, and for the foreground color, we are using this color right here. Copy that and make sure your brush is bigger, just like mine, and hover over here. And okay, let me go back a little, and you can just add glows in here. Okay, all right, so just a simple one right there. Then of course I'll go ahead and activate my call to action. You can go ahead and make yours creative to any extent that you want. Okay, so this I just used rectangle and inner glow. Okay, the same inner glow for these guys. All right, so that's it guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to Cool Graphics with a Design Chef for more videos like this, and I'm out. Peace.